Jai Jai Shri Radhaye Shyam. If I want to do spiritual life, where should I live? The big question for many Vaishnav sadhakas, devotees worldwide. And of course, this also is a big question for devotees who live inside India. Many of us, we have the idea that the holy dham, the tirtha, the spiritual places on earth, such as Jagannath Puri, Navadvip, Vrindavan, are the places that we should live in order to have some spiritual practice. And in somehow that's true, but in somehow it's not either, because even if Sri Dham Vrindavan has so much power, many sadhus lived there in the past and are living in the present, and possible they will live in the future. Also, the same applies to Varshana, Govardhan. But if a practitioner, sadhaka, devotee, go to the holy dham thinking that just because you are moving to holy dham, everything will be automatic in your life, then that is a big mistake. Because anybody who has been living in Dham, Vrindavan, or in Radhakund, Jagannath Puri, they realize that just because of moving to those places, it will not make you better devotee or worse devotee. Indeed, being in the holy dham, you have a bigger responsibility, because by doing nothing on bhajan, by not taking care of your bhajan, your archana, your worship to the deity, etc., you start doing some offenses to the holy dham, because the holy dham is a place for worshipping and for working in your spiritual development. Nowadays, and since some years, many people is moving to Vrindavan. But they move to Vrindavan, and I have seen myself, even Indian people, moving to Vrindavan, but secretly they keep drinking alcohol or smoking tobacco or marijuana, and keeping all their bad habits. It's as simple as to see. One day, I remember, I will tell this story. One day I was looking for accommodation in Vrindavan to rent a flat. And I get to one very popular area where many buildings, supposed to be one of the top places for living, and people with good income, good money, and supposed to be educated Indian and devotees living there. And I get inside of one of those buildings, and in almost every floor was possible to see coffee or Coca-Cola or tea that the inhabitants of those buildings, some people, I don't know who, they were throwing to the walls, to the wall of the building. So basically all the walls that were white color, originally white, were all full of dearth that somebody in I don't know what kind of a state of consciousness, they threw to the wall some coffee, tea, Coca-Cola. Why something like this? Because it was all like a dark, very dark brown color coming down from the wall. It was dry on the wall, so nobody took care of drying, cleaning this. It was looking horrible. What to say about auto rickshaw? To Western, I asked this money. To Indian, I asked that money. Thinking that soul, Jiva, Atma is a Western or a Indian born. It's nonsense. All this difference of countries and flags and nationalities and races are all external, and we suppose that somebody who lives in Vrindavan has a spiritual knowledge and understanding of the phenomenon of this world and will understand that this is not the case. Now, of course, not normally, but it's quite possible that many of the Western devotees around there has more money. But there also is something that is called ethics. You have ethic in your work because your ethic, morality, it is your dharma also. Ethic and moral is part of dharma. If you think that you are a Sanatani, that born in Sanatan dharma, you should have ethics. So if I am spending, just to say, 100 rupees in gas to transport one devotee from one point A to point B, what makes the difference to start charging 3-4 times more, or just to basically shit the person and tell whatever price that is coming to your head? That is not okay. That's not correct. That is not good. This is logic, and Dharma doesn't work like that. Dharma doesn't say do this to Western or do this to this, and no. You must to act correct on your own because you are correct, because this is what you have been learning from your tradition. It's not a surprise that many people, many Indians counting, like contemporary Indians, they don't want to know much about any religious or Sanatan Dharma or nothing. And many Hindus, they change to another religion, Muslim or Christians, because they see that the people who are supposed to be following and telling, living, showing by their example, their philosophy, their religion, they are simply not doing anything. What to say to visit the Guru? Normally you will find the biggest scams on those areas. Of course, I am speaking about not everyone, not everybody, but some big problem that you see, because there is a big difference between mysticism, spirituality, and religion. Religions have been shown to the world history by the history of the planet Earth, and possible by the universe, as you can read in Shastra, in Grantha, in the philosophy. Religions have been creating so many problems and have been stopping the social development of the civilizations. By religions, we can call any religion, we can quote any religion here. But the spirituality is what those sages have been following and living. And mysticism is the process of those sages, yogis, mystic people, mystic devotees have been following in their life. And this process is transcendental, and this process has nothing to do with mythologies or with religions. The process of mysticism and spirituality has to do, the only business is God and how to walk the straight and sharp path to God realization. So folks should not confuse religion and spirituality. Religion is to go throwing color in holy and not even thinking what kind of contamination you are doing in holy dam through all this chemical stuff that people is throwing by tons to the street, to the same people, to the devotees, to the breathing system of every single devotee who should be healthy in order to do bhajan, to do sadhana, to do practice. Who think about that? Just following things without even thinking why and what are the consequences. Tons and tons and tons of contamination coming out of flowers and different items that are used for worship that are contaminating holy dam. There are some moments in Radha Kund, I have been there, devotees who live there, they know this. If it's a taboo, I'm sorry. But sometimes in Radha Kund is not possible to even to take a snan because the water is over polluted. Jamuna Ma should be a holy river as people think, so holy river should be kept clean as Ganga Ma, as Radha Kund, the holy pond of Srimati Radharani. There should not be trashing flowers who later on, after some short time, will be rotten in the water and everything around, making a very thick lack of bacteria, so devotees get ill when they go there. Let's speak truth. We should be respectful with the water of the holy dam, Radha Kund, Shama Kund, to show respect to Jamuna, to not contaminate holy dam. If Jamuna will be part of any other religion or Radha Kund, I am sure, and I can give you $1 million in the table to bid that any other religion will take very good care of it and will clean, it will be pure. I'm sure about that. But it doesn't happen in India. Why? Many ways to reply to this. One is the anti-Hinduism that is running in India, hidden behind the shadows, some forces that want these places to disappear, to be contaminated, that nobody will visit. The beautiful Vrindavan and the forest, Vrindavan is the forest of Brinda Devi, of Tulsi, right? But there is no Tulsi, there is no forest. Yes or not? There is no forest and there is no Tulsi. Just in some temples they keep a little Tulsi bush because it's sacred and it's beautiful. But there is no Tulsi. I just saw like 30 minutes ago, 40 minutes ago, to one of the Goswamis of the Radha Sampradaya in Instagram, and he was planting a tree in the ground of Vrindavan. Years ago, a devotee, when I was living in Finland, a devotee from the Radha Sampradaya said that they started a project of planting trees in Sridham Vrindavan. That basically cost very cheap. It's very cheap to do, right? You need just the volunteer and the conscience of making Vrindavan beautiful again, green again. And the Radha Vallavis have been going out and planting trees to Vrindavan, that nowadays is a desert. Same than Radha Kund is a desertic place. When everything there was trees and forests as should be. But now is everything destroyed, desert contaminated, in order to sell more buildings or to do business there. Not good. And Radha Vallabhis have been doing this job. It's beautiful. I feel so much respect for Radha Vallabh Sampradaya, honestly, for their faith, the way they worship Sri Radha and Krishna, directly to love, prem, not taking any care in any Aishvaric point of view. That's great. And yes, this video was beautiful to see in a couple seconds how this Goswami was planting a tree in Vrindavan. This should be the new seva. This should be the next seva for Vrindavan. Brajavasis and devotees is to put trees and to plant tulsi everywhere, to make conscious, to create a national consciousness about holy dham and to keep it clean. Cleanness in Bhagavad Gita and by Vedic philosophy, cleanness is a sattvic state of life and consciousness. To be clean and to keep your place clean is to create or to produce a sattvic place, to worship sattvic place for Krishna, for Radharani, for the Gopas, the Gopis, for the cows, protection to the cows, love to every animal and Brajavasis, and for the ones who live in the holy dham. This monastery is so important to think about this. It's so important to think not only from a spiritual point of view, like spiritual in the way that something that is beyond this world, but also to take care about this reality, because this Prakriti Vrindavan and holy dhams, these manifested holy dhams, are so important and so special because Krishna and Radha, they walk through those places. Sri Gauranga walk in Puri Dham, in Navadvip, Radha Kund, the Goswamis of Vrindavan. For the ones who are not Gaudiya, Sri Harivansh, Sri Harivansh was there in Vrindavan as well. So what your leaders, what Sri Hit Harivansh, what Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Dev, what Swami Haridas will say if they see the Vrindavan like this? No Vrinda, no forest of Vrindavan, there are no forest anymore. Jamuna contaminated, Radha Kund, what to say about it? What they will say? I am sure that in the case of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he will do the same what he did in Jagannath Puri. He took his own clothes and started cleaning the whole temple where our Thakurji Sri Jagannath will be. This is what he did. He didn't say, no, everything is spiritual, doesn't matter, let's keep it like that. That is to be lazy. And laziness is not a quality of a Vaishnava. Vaishnava are hard workers. And Vaishnava are hard workers in Bhajan Kriya also. So where to live in order to make a good bhajan, to progress in spiritual life? You must to live in the heart. You must to live in your heart. Your heart must to be the temple, the mandir, the ashram of the Atman. The mandir for Thakurji, for Radha Shyam, for Radha Krishna, for Radha Govindaji, for Krishna, Radha Krishna, for Priya Pritam, for Yuga Kishore. This is your heart. Whatever you are, you have to practice if you are good in the practice, wherever you are, if you are in Vrindavan, in Navadvip, in Jagannath Puri, wherever you are, there will be the Nitya Vrindavan if you are a Krishna devotee, Radha devotee. That's it, that is Vrindavan already. Because it all depends on your heart. You will go to Radha Kund, you will go to Vrindavan, and you will see nothing more than shops to buy some shringar, some clothes for Thakurji, to buy a Gopal and to walk around and then goodbye and nobody take care of this. No, this is absolutely superficial. To walk around without understanding anything, for what? Just to bring the pollution from your city or from your mind to the holy places. And this is offense. Offense to the Dham. Aparat to the holy Dham. You must be wherever you are. You are in Chile, you are in Argentina, you are in the United States, you are in Germany, you are in UK, you are in India, you are in Pakistan, you are in Japan, you are in China, you are wherever you are in another planet. The Vajana Kriya is the most important. It's your state of consciousness and how you develop your spirituality through your consciousness. Because more or less, your consciousness is what is prime, your state of consciousness. You can go to Radha Kund and to start criticize everyone there. You go to Berlin in Germany and you will criticize everyone there. The consciousness, your mind, your spirit, your heart doesn't change because you change your physical body to another place, even if it's a holy place. It will not change. You have to keep working your anarthas, your samskars. You have to work on this blueprint that you are bringing from previous life. You have to work on all this. You have to release yourself. And finally, you will realize that wherever you are, that is Vrindavan. Wherever you are, this is Vrindavan. I can show you Radha Kunda now, right now, where I am. You want to see Radha Kund? I will show you. Yes, here is Radha Kund. Can you see? You cannot see Radha Kund? Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he saw Radha Kund everywhere. Every pound, every lake for him was a Radha Kund dam. Lotus flowers, Radha Kund. You want to see Vrindavan? I will show you Vrindavan. There are flowers, there are bushes, there is nature, trees, Vrindavan. I can collect those flowers over there and to offer to Sri Radharani. I can offer to Krishna. These are the flowers of Vrindavan. Here, just 60 meters walking from here where I am now, there is an incredible forest, beautiful, green, all natural. And after that, there is a big lake, river. From where all the rivers in the world are coming, from where the water of the planet is coming, from Gangama. All the rivers are Gangama. All the ponds are Sri Radha Kund. You cannot see difference. If you see difference, then you must keep working on your bhajana to realize that everything is supreme, everything is God, everything is transcendental. There is no difference. There are not countries, there are no planets, there are no nothing. The only what truly exists is the transcendental platform, the reality, the transcendental reality. If I will put all the sages in only one place, all the sadhus, all the Vaishnav in only one place, I will collect them all from all over India and other countries, and I will put them all in one place. That place will be Vrindavan. And any river that is there will turn into the Yamuna. Every tree will be a Karpa Vriksha. The power is because of the consciousness, and that's why Sri Dham is powerful, because there are devotees with full consciousness, full developed, or they lived in the past in that area. So this energy is there, powerful. So every place where Radha and Krishna are worshipped, that is Vrindavan. And in relation and depending on the bhav of the sadhaka, of the devotee, the practitioner, is the kind of abode that is present over there. For some ones who are, for example, worshipping Narasingha, worshipping Ramchandra, and different kind of avatars, then they will see, and their place, that area will be Vaikuntha. For the one who has exclusive worship to Priya Pritam, to Radha Krishna, that place is Vrindavan. For the ones who are worshipping Govinda in relation to the cows and the Gopas friends, that is Gokula. This is how it works. Yes, in the map in India there are places with this name, yeah. But is the consciousness there? Are the devotees or the inhabitants of those places in the state of consciousness? I have been meeting devotees all over the world. Thanks. Radha have been taking me everywhere to learn, to turn into an expert in different areas that are necessary for Vajana Kriya. I have been meeting wonderful devotees in different countries, in different places. There is not one place that we can see, no, only here are good devotees. No, everywhere. I have been meeting great devotees in Chile. Beautiful devotees with so much love. I have been meeting great devotees in Finland. Also, I have been meeting in Brazil. I have been meeting in so many places. Europe. Also in India and Vrindavan, and in Jagannath Puri and other areas, Navadvip. But also I have been meeting the most unloyal people in the Holy Dham. Also, everything is there and everything is everywhere, because we are living an illusion of one physical place. Exists, but in the same time doesn't exist. We have to understand, we understand by philosophy that the existence, the Vrindavan, the Lila, who is Prakriti, Aprakrit. Aprakrit started 5,000 years ago with Krishna when he left this planet Earth, Bauma. He left with all his associates. Similar Lila in Navadvip with Gauranga Mahaprabhu, his associates. Right? So there started the Aprakrit mood. It's a different mood. It's not that you are going to Nidhivan and after midnight inside Nidhivan start the Dansa Ras that you will see with your material eyes. That is not happening, because this Prakrit mood changed. Now it's Aprakrit, it's not manifest. The deity will not run anywhere. There is nobody coming to sleep on that bed. No, it's not. That is mythology. They are folk tales. It's not happening. The reality is that if you want to really see the dance ras, you don't need to pass the night in secret in Nidhivan and to see how the bushes are turning into gopis. It will not happen, because there are also cameras. If that will happen, they will show the cameras, secret cameras. They have security cameras. This is happening. Also, there are neighbors around there. They can see from the windows. Nothing is happening. Why? Because what is happening really is inside the heart. It's Aprakrit. It's not manifested. It's no Vrindavan. Manifested Vrindavan. It's not happening there. It's happening in the heart of the pure devotees. There, Radha and Krishna will manifest in your heart. If you want to see, you will see, but not by spending night in Nidiban, in Brindaban, in India, or in United States, in Germany, or in Switzerland. No, it will not happen. There is a forest. Not because I go to the forest, I will find Radharani and the Manjaris and the Sakis picking up flowers and speaking about Krishna, no, and the cause of Krishna around. I will not find that, I am sure. But if I work my bhajana kriya, if I meditate deeply, I can find in this forest or in any forest. Even not going anywhere is just the work of as simple as closing my eyes, start meditating, and to enter to the lila, and by kripa of Sri Guru and Sri Radha, everything will be manifest in my heart. And I will see, I can walk there, I can see, I can hear the cows, I can hear the peacocks, I can hear the flute, I can see the devotees there, the gopis, or the gopas, if that is my bhav. I can see Krishna and Radha eating, taking prasad and sharing from mouth to mouth, sharing with their company, with the Sakis. But if I don't have that spiritual development, it will never happen, and everything will keep on a fantasy level, you know. A fantasy level is something that will not lead you to a spiritual development. Fantasies are no spirituality, and this is so important, to first touch the ground of what we have, what we need, in order to achieve the goal. You can go through Shastra, you can ask any Shastriya Guru, and they will tell you the same. You will not achieve anything by fantasizing of things. The big philosopher and psychologist Carl Gustav Jung, he say, nobody get enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by enlightening your inner darkness. So you need, in order to achieve the goal, you need to work on your spirituality. You need to work on your shadows. Those are the anarthas, those are your bad qualities. You have to work on that. Step by step you work. How you work? On holy name. Holy name and observing the regulations of the spiritual life. Because spiritual life is not just to chant and then to act as any rascal. No. Spiritual life is to chant the holy name, meditate the holy name, to study and to practice. And the practice has some regulations in order to do. Any single spiritual path has some regulations on how to purify the practitioner. In our case, the sadhaka. How the sadhaka practice the sadhana. Sadhaka comes from sadhana. Sadhana is the practice of spiritual life. What to do, what to don't, how to do, how to don't, etc. You must learn all this. And Gaudiya Vaishnavism, I can speak by experience, that is so powerful, so strong, our lineage coming from Sri Gauranga, that in no time you will start experimenting the bliss, the ananda of spiritual realization. You will feel, you will live it, you will have it on yourself. You will take part, it will be part of you. You will experiment that. But not before you start doing the practice, the sadhana. Not before you start doing your ekadashis, doing your rounds, chanting with love, dedication, reading, studying the scriptures, studying and glorify the stories, the life story of the acharyas, the masters, spiritual masters. All this is part of sadhana. And by the practice you will get there. You will get there. you will experiment everything in your heart and in your life. You will see that everything that is around you turn into the Nitya Vrindavan, because your consciousness, that is your spiritual mind, spiritual heart, everything you yourself, you enter to that dimension through the Vajana Kriya, the meditation, through the Vajan, to work on your spirituality, to give time to this, to chant. To chant is not to chant 16 rounds. That is a superficial part of sadhana. 16 rounds, 64 rounds, 8 rounds, 4 rounds, 32 rounds, 48 rounds, truly is not the main point. If you do 16 rounds, must be 16 rounds that you concentrate, you put energy, you put love on that. If there are 4 rounds, good. Why not? But do it do it real. You chant, you meditate on that. You can chant, for example, your rounds while listening an audiobook or something that will bring you bliss related to the Vaishnavs, Krishna story, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, to listen and to chant and to meditate. This is a good way that you can do your rounds and you will enjoy so much. Because this process is not a process of punishment that you have to suffer upside down. This process is bhakti. It's a process of prem, of love. So you must enjoy your process. When you read, you must enjoy your reading. When you chant, you must enjoy your chant. But it's not superficial skin enjoying. It's a deep enjoyment here in the heart. So when you chant, you must chant and taste the holy name. Taste. When you do kirtan, you have to chant with love, with passion for achieving the goal, that is prem and the service of Sri Sri Radhashyam. Vayenitai Goura Radheshyam, Japo Hare Krishna Hare Ram. Vayenitai Goura Radheshyam, Japo Hare Krishna Hare Ram. In this mantra, you are glorifying to Sri Nitai Gauranga. So by that, you are starting by asking permission to enter to the supreme platform, that is Nitya Vrindavan, Radheshyam. Then you say first Nitai Gaur. You glorify them, worship them through your chanting. Then you say Radheshyam. Radheshyam is the Mahamantra Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Ram are in Radheshyam. And then you remind yourself that the process is to chant the Mahamantra Hare Krishna in the japa. Vaya Nitai Gaur. Worship Nitai Gaur, worship Radheshyam. First Nitai Gaur, then Radheshyam, because with your anarthas and contamination, you cannot go directly to Radha Krishna. How you will go there all contaminated, smelling bad, speaking bad, with all your anarthas, your demons there? Now first you need a shower, spiritual, transcendental shower, and this is Nitai Gaur. That's why we say, Vaya Nitai Gaur, and then Radheshyam. Vaya Nitai Gaur, Radheshyam. Japa Hare Krishna Hare Ram. Vaya Nitai Gaur Radheshyam. Japa Hare Krishna Hare Ram. Vaya Nitai Gaur Radheshyam. Japa Hare Krishna Hare Ram. This kirtan is a kirtan that purify and bring you all the bliss, all the ananda from the Harinam, but it protects you also and makes you worship first the lotus feet of Goura Nitai, Panchatattva, and their associate and their lila. So you go through this dimension. First is a spiritual shower, Nitai Gaur, then you get to Radheshyam, and you can do Bhajan Kriya, Japa Hare Krishna Hare Ram. Whatever you are, that is Vrindavan. You don't need to go anywhere else. That is Vrindavan. It depends on your state of consciousness. As Srimad Mahaprabhu, being in Jagannath Puri, he saw a hill and he fell in ecstasy, in trance, chanting the glories of Radha and Krishna and Govardhan. He saw from a hill, he saw Govardhan. From any pond or lake or water, he saw Radha Kunda. When he saw water or river, there was Yamuna. This is a state of consciousness that we should achieve. We need love, desire, to be hungry of achieving that state of consciousness. Because Krishna is Kamadev, is the god of the desires. Anything that the sadhaka wants, Krishna will give. So be very, very careful with what you desire and what you don't desire. This is important. Decide prem, decide turn crazy for Radha and Krishna. You have to decide the lotus feet of Radharani and to serve there. You want to desire to hear the Krishna's flute and to serve there. You want to desire all the beautiful lila that will appear in your heart, and then you will appear there in the company of the biggest of the biggest. Jai Jai Shri Radhe Shyam. Nitai Goura Haribol. Jai Shri Radha Raman. Jai Jai Shri Radhe Shyam. Thanks for watching. Jai Shri Radhe. Vaya Nitai Goura Radhe Shyam. Japo Hare Krishna Hare Ram. Jai Shri Radhe Shyam.